What is up, guys? We are back with another episode of Agrarian Skies. Alright, so it's actually been a little while since I've recorded this. Because I've kind of been pretty busy with some stuff. And I had a little bit pre-recorded, so I was able to get all those out. But it's been updated, the pack's been updated a little bit. I forget what version I'm on, it's like 4 point something. 4.1 point something, I think, or 3.1.4. I don't remember what it was. But they've actually changed the quest book a little bit. Just a little bit. The only really thing they've changed is if you go for the hoarding, you can see that's changed. You can see there's no more the Hell's Kitchen stuff in here. They went ahead and put that back into Hell's Kitchen. So you can see now you got 50,000 lettuce. Fish sandwiches, and all that stuff. These are all the first ones. And then you got one other change, which is stone storage is here. However, the bragging rights, you can see now has Cobble Gen Madness, which is the 43 million octuple compressed cobblestone, which takes 43 million cobble. So that's now in bragging rights, because that one takes forever. We'll have to get started on that one so that it finishes pretty soon, hopefully. But that's pretty much the only other changes. Everything else is the same, it looks like. So I really want to get started on bees and trees. However, I want to make an area for that, as I've said in previous videos. And I still haven't had time to do that. But I do have a plan of what I'm going to make. It's not something insane like this. It's just going to be some nice kind of area for bees and trees stuff. So I've done a little bit off camera, and I'm going to quickly walk through what I've done. Real quick, I added a second pulverizer just so I could use that for something. So I can pulverize twice as much at once. Let's see, that doesn't have anything. I've been making the ice, and if we look over here, we are really close to 10,000 ice. We might be there this episode, I don't know. We'll check it at the end. Also, we have this thing. Now, this is a wireless access point for ME. And basically what that does is if you make a wireless access terminal, and then put it in your controller to bind it to this controller, or this ME system, you can access your ME system from far away, from different you can access it wirelessly, basically. Now, it does have a limit, and I don't actually know where that limit is. Let's see, we can still access it here. Nope, can't. So about right here is the limit. And that would be in all directions. Now, the reason it's that far away you can still use it is because I have these wireless boosters. 16 is the maximum you can put in there, and they increase the distance by 2 blocks each. So that's an extra 32 blocks because of the boosters there. So another thing I did off camera was you can see the tree farm's a little bit different. I'm not sure if it was this size in the last episode or not. I think it was smaller. If it was, then I expanded it. And I put this guy here. Aqueous accumulator, which is generating water. It doesn't need any water next to it to keep this running. And this is an open block sprinkler. You can fill it with bone meal, and it will, without the bone meal, it will just increase the quickness of plants growing, or trees, in this case. And then with the bone meal, it will use it gradually over time, and randomly use up one bone meal at different points in time. So that just helps speed up the tree production pretty quickly. I've also made it a lot more compact using tesseracts under here and up here to do all the tree stuff. And then I've also made it to where the sludge boiler down there is not using a bunch of wires because the harvester is putting sludge into a special area down here, which is where a lot of my automation for ME is going right now. So you can see the sludge is going, or the sludge is going into the ME system through the fluid the interface, the ME fluid interface, and it's going in here. You can see we don't really gain any because the sludge boiler can keep up with the harvester. But then we have it set to export sludge right here, sludge bucket, using the export fluid export bus. And so we're exporting this sludge to the sludge boiler, and then the sludge boiler is then sending items back into the ME system. So that's the plan for that one. Now another thing is I've got this set up. You might be wondering what it is. It's an automatic witch water thing here, creator. Now I have it set to a maximum of 1,000 buckets or 1 kilo bucket. So basically it won't produce any more than it has to. That's why it's stopped right now. So whenever I use it up, it will make more. Basically I have down here, you can see I have this aqueous accumulator that's generating water, putting that into a tesseract. That tesseract is then filling those 4 barrels and they turn into witch water. And then I have it set to go back into that same tesseract and then send that into the ME system. And then to figure out exactly how much I want to send, I am using the level emitters, the fluid level emitters. And basically what that does is I have it set to 1 million millibuckets, which is 1,000 buckets. And when it reaches that amount, I want it to emit a redstone signal, which is then stopping this fluid export bus. Although it's actually kind of looks a little bit glitchy right now. That's interesting. Anyway. And then I also have it set to where 10 buckets of water turns off the aqueous accumulator so that the aqueous accumulator is not, or so that we have 10 buckets of water in the system all the time in case we need it. And we've also got 871 buckets of mob essence. That's a ton, and I know what we're going to start using that for. There's a lot of stuff to do with auto spawners and stuff, especially for something I want to do with blood magic. Let's actually put these saplings away. And actually I need that green stained clay back. Now you can see we're up to 22,000 oakwood planks. Just about, I would say 3 hours ago, I was at 16,000. So getting to 100,000 isn't going to be too hard with that one farm. From me just doing work on here, it will get there pretty quickly. Alright, so that's about everything that I can think of that we did. Actually, we have one more thing that I did off camera. And that's what we're going to be doing this episode. You might know what it is by just looking at it. You can see I put tons of resonant energy cells up. Now the way this works, or the way it needs to work, I'm not really generating enough power right now. And that's what we're going to fix this episode. Basically I have this set to where when it gets the power, it sends it into this tesseract, which is Ender Power Gen. And this receives the energy and sends it into these 3 energy cells right here. Now these ones are all empty because it's just trying to fill up this one right now. But basically this one flows down to this one, which flows down to this one. This one flows down all the way to this side and then goes here. This one goes there. They all eventually meet to ender power. So everything runs off this ender power, and we can use up to 30,000 RF per tick. Because we have 3 different sides going into this one Tesseract, it can send 30,000 RF per tick, which is a ton. So that was all I've done off camera. Now it's time to get to work on some quests. So the first thing we're going to do, if we come look at this chest, I have a ton of stuff in it. So the main thing we're going to do today is we're going to build a big reactor. That is going to completely solve our power problems, I hope. I'm building a pretty decent sized one since we had the resources for it. And it is going to require that many ender pearls. That is a lot of ender pearls, but we have plenty from our farm and mob spawner. But real quickly, this is part of the For the Hoarding quests, Mechanical Madness 100 Tinker's Alloy Gear. So let's go ahead and submit that. I don't want to use all my iron right now, 1,000 iron for pistons. So I'm going to go ahead and wait on that one. But I have enough to do it, but I don't want to waste it on that just in case I need a ton of iron for something. So today I would like to get something into magic done. I want to get this Magician's Blood Orb made. Now that requires 25,000 LP life points in a tier 3 blood altar. And that is a lot of life points. Right now our current blood altar can only hold a little over 11,000, which is not enough. Let's quickly grab a gold block. So that's what we need to create it. But that's not enough for the Magician's Blood Orb. However, if I keep healing myself and keep adding more blood into the blood altar... Whoa, there's a spider down here. Oh, right, because I accidentally... Or I didn't accidentally, but I did break torches. Actually, I forgot glowstone. But I forgot I have this, so I can now grab some glowstone. Alright, but if I keep adding to this, then I will be able to make it. You can see it's already full right now. I have it already filled up. And I was using this hopper. It's kind of like an automatic way to make things. You can put multiple items in the hopper, and they're all go in here at once. And then once it's sucked up enough to finish every single item, they'll all finish at once. It's just kind of more convenient, in my opinion. Alright, so first things first, we've got to upgrade this altar to tier 3. So we need blood runes. Eventually I'll make these blood runes into like augmented capacity, self-sacrifice, regular sacrifice, and speed and all those fancy ones. But for now, I just need to get this done since it was cheaper. And I'm using 3 runes of sacrifice because I replaced these ones with the rune of self-sacrifice that I made to help with this whole process. And I didn't make very many, I only have 4. So it only adds an extra 20 life points per time I use the sacrificial orb. But that's okay. Alright. So there we go. That should be a tier 3 altar. Oh wait, nope. Glowstone first. On the 4 corners, 2 blocks tall. And we got a tier 3 altar, which increases the capacity a little bit actually. So let's quickly just fill that up. Whoops. Okay, so that's full. So what we're gonna do is clear out our inventory a bit here. And we're going to put this in. It's using a ton. potion of healing. Oops. I think this will be enough potions of healing. At least I hope. I am not going to be able to keep up with this. Oh, it's going so fast. Hope we have enough. Oh. Last potion of healing. Oh, there we go. We got it. Awesome. Alright. So we'll just keep the rest of our health. And boom! Magician's Blood Orb. Awesome. Alright, so let's get some stuff back on the bar here. Alright, so we can now detect that, and boom! We got the Magician's Blood Orb quest complete. 16 Ritual Stones or 4 Blood Runes. I'm gonna go with Ritual Stones, because I want to make a ritual. That will help us out a lot. Coming up pretty soon, hopefully. Let's quickly bind this to me. Okay, there we go. We're not going to need this one anymore. At least we can put it in the system anyway. Alright, put the heart in there. Put that away, that away. And we got a greater reward bag. Let's see what we got. Invisibility potion, another one of those. I already have one. Not very useful. Alright, one other thing, you guys. I'll put that away as well. I got this resonant flux capacitor, which if you put on your hotbar and shift right click, then any item that requires power or uses redstone flux to charge, which this does, it will charge up if you're holding it while this is activated. So now I can deactivate that, and I can do the same thing with my jetpack too, which is really useful. Alright, so we got the blood orb. I'm excited about that. Let's see what it opened up. Useful sigils. Air sigil and sigil of the Green Grove. I wanted to make this one anyway because it's really cool. So that's nice. And then we got, looks like we got bound swords here and something with the blood shards or whatever. Okay. That's all we're going to do in You're a Wizard, Steve. Now it's time to make the big reactor. But actually, before we do that, we have to do one more thing to complete a quest. Reactor warm-up. I built all this stuff already because it took a while off camera. Basically, the main components are just yellorium, steel, and graphite. And so I just crafted all those, but I did not make the reactor controller so that we can complete the quest on camera. And you can see it's going to take some reactor casing, some yellorium, diamond, and a redstone. Alright, now we got the reactor controller. We can complete this quest. I'm going to take the... Let's see, what's the cyanite used for? Forget. I think I get that as a output. How do I get cyanite anyway? I think that's an output from the reactor. Maybe it was plutonium. How do I get plutonium? I don't know. We'll take the yellorium, I think. That's because more fuel for the reactor. It's much better. Alright. Got a heart, an epic reward bag. Let's see what we get in this. Ooh, nice. That's gonna help out a lot, actually. I use a lot of those. Let's quickly put that away. We'll also put this away. Alright. So, let's grab the main components of the reactor first. And I'm going to actually show you guys how to build a pretty darn good reactor right here because we have a decent amount of resources. And this one's going to be 7 by 7 by 6 tall. The reason it's only 6 tall is because I didn't want to butt up against the roof here. And I can expand it eventually if I want to, but I don't know if we're going to need to. Alright, so this outer core here with all the cobble has to all be the reactor casing. So we'll go ahead and put this in. If you can hear screaming, or the sounds of screaming, or squealing, anyway, that would be my guinea pigs, because they apparently want something to eat. That is okay, because I'm busy doing Agrarian Skies. And it is not their dinner time yet. Okay. So this takes a lot of reactor casing to make this size reactor. And it's not that cheap. You can see it takes 4 steel for every 4 yellorium and graphite. Graphite's easy because it's just coal, but steel is not super easy. Takes a lot of iron. And I'm planning on doing a mod spotlight / tutorial series on big reactors pretty soon. So I'll explain how it works exactly in that tutorial series. This one I'm just gonna kind of get it set up, show you a little bit of how it works, and then use it. The bottom I'm also gonna make reactor casing. There we go. And then you can either use reactor casings for the sides to fill those in, or reactor glass. I'm going to use glass just because it looks cool. And I like being able to see through the reactor. You know what? I just remembered. I have a builder's wand. Which makes it much easier to do things. Now, yep, that should be good. Don't really have a way out right now, so I guess I should make one. Okay, so now we want to do something on the inside here. Yellorium fuel rods. Now, you don't have to have as many as I'm doing here, but for this size reactor, this is a really efficient amount to use. And they have to be as tall as your reactor without touching the roof or the ground. So it's basically the inside of the reactor. Each one has to be that size. Just like so. And then on top of those, you put reactor control rods. Whoops, that's not where it was supposed to go. Like that. And then we're going to fill the rest in with glass here. Now you can do some stuff with this. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Let's see. Darn it. This is a lot harder than it should be. Why can't I make reactor glass? Uh-oh. I hope this isn't gonna break. Okay, sweet. I got it back. It's kinda hard to do when it's butting up against the roof like this. Alright, so I need that many more, which is fine because we're going to replace some of these with some other things, like this one. I didn't know it was going to take this long to break. It's a little bit annoying. We'll break this one. Put another one of these. These are the access ports for putting in fuel and getting the byproducts of cyanite. And then the power tap I'd like to put in the back here. Like so. That's where you get the power from. And then we got the controller. So now, put the controller right here. Oh, didn't reach it. Okay. Now we're gonna finish placing some glass. We're actually gonna need a little space to go inside of it, because we have to place some more items, which I'm gonna do off camera because something's gonna take a little while. Alright, so let's get them out there. Just gotta place this one back. And now, what all the ender pearls are for is every single block in this space for each layer needs to be a source block of the liquid ender, which takes a ton of ender, but it's basically the coolant for the reactor. It keeps it nice and cool, which generates more, or which makes it use less fuel. So I'm going to fill the entire inside with those source blocks, and I will be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I have now filled it completely with the resonant ender. And just gotta place this last block, and there we go. That took a long time to fill it because every time I touched it, it would teleport you away, so I had to like clear out the whole top area and then put it down. But there we go, you can see it's now a multi-block structure, and if I go into the controller, we got a lot of information. First we got the temperature, energy outputs, fuel burn-up rate, and the fuel reactivity. And then we got like the core fuel status, the heat, let me turn this off real quick. The core heat and the energy buffer. Casing heat, core heat, energy buffer. So it can hold, let's see, 10 million RF in this buffer here. It's quite a bit. So let's go ahead and set up the automation here. And quickly go grab, actually we need to eat. I gotta get a better food source. Alright, quickly grab this stuff. And we're gonna need some yellorium. And the waste, we'll have to wait until we get some. Alright, let's grab some cables. You can see we have our ME system right here from going to there. So we just tap into this. Oh wait, I was going to do covers, but I don't think you can do covers when you do ME cables. Whoops. I just broke that. And it's gone. That's okay. Just grab one like so. Alright. So there we go, and this can't do anything. Darn it. It's okay. So this one's going to be outlet mode. So it's gonna eject the waste. This one's gonna take the fuel. I want it set to eject waste. So export bus. We're going to export. Let's see. yellorium. And that should export it, I think. I don't know why it's not. Whoops. Oh, it did. As you can see, it filled our reactor up instantly to 93.8% full, which means it takes quite a bit of the yellorium because I had a little over a stack. So it set it in there and got used up already. When we have access, it will just sit a stack in here until we need more and keep placing it in. Alright, so let's now set up this one. Import. We gotta wait until we get waste, actually. Unless you can just take everything. Yeah, that should work, actually. Move stacks. Take all the waste out. So now, we want to set up to where our power goes into our system. We'll just hook up a Tesseract directly to the power tap. And we're going to set it to Ender Power Gen. I believe. Let me go double check that real quick. We want to send it to this one. Yes, okay. So we'll send it to Ender Power Gen. Send energy only. Ignored redstone signal. And that should be good. So now, we can turn this on. Alright, activate reactor. Let's see what we got here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what we got here is what it's telling me is we're sitting around 9,150 flux per tick. That is insane. We got a fuel burnup rate about 0.13 millibuckets per tick, which is lessened. Like you can see, we have a 405% fuel reactivity. I believe that would be from the liquid resonant ender. So you can see we got so much less burnup rate than we would have without it. It is going to take forever to lose all that fuel. And once we get to 1,000 millibuckets of waste, I think. Maybe it's 100. Let's see. Alright, yeah, it's 1,000. You can see we got 207 millibuckets of waste right now. Once it goes to 1,000, it will eject one of the cyanite ingots. And we got around 1,196 core temperature, which is pretty good. 9,000 RF. Okay, let's see how this is working. Oh yeah, huge buildup of energy now. Huge buildup. So I want to check one more thing. These are all set to 100%, right? Wait, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's set to normal. I do believe. Oh man, that's gonna last forever. That's gonna generate so much energy. We basically have infinite power, guy. We don't even need this anymore, but I'm just gonna keep it anyway. Just because it's here already. I might actually tear it down. I don't know. Tear down the energy part of it and just use that to farm ender pearls, actually. So I'll probably do that off camera between this episode and next. But as you can see, guys, we have near infinite amounts of insane energy. Over 9,000 RF per tick, which is insane. The only thing we need to do is create yellorium, which isn't that hard, actually. If we go look here at yellorium, Gotta make this yellorium dust, which you can do from sulfur and pulverized tin, which is pretty nice. And you can just get it 2% chance from sand. I prefer doing this way. Sulfur I get from pulverizing coal. And hopefully we'll start getting more stuff like that from when we get the laser drills set up, which will be soon. But the thing we're going to do next episode, or at least my plan, is we're going to try to increase our resource collection through the sieves, because we got that little setup still, and the reason I couldn't do that this episode was because we needed power, and now that we're getting over 9,000 redstone flux per tick, we have plenty of power. So we're going to expand this setup next episode, and I've already done it in creative mode trying to figure it out, and I've got a pretty good design that's going to give us way more stuff. And the reason we're doing that is so that we can start making all this expensive stuff in for the hoarding. Like, this is going to take a ton. I know eventually we'll need mysterious magnets. Those take a ton. So we're going to expand this thing a lot. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. It helps out a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to be notified when I upload more videos. And we'll see you guys next time. Oh wait, actually, before we go, I forgot. We're going to check to see if we now have enough ice. We have enough ice. So we'll be able to complete that episode, or that quest next episode. I don't really feel like trying to get 10,000 ice in my inventory to complete a quest. We'll use the QDS system. And we'll do that next episode. So we'll see you guys next time.